Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I'm super excited about this webinar, and we will just jump right in. So today we will be talking about how to use the FamilySearch Catalog. And our objective for today is at the end of this lesson, you should be able to use the FamilySearch Catalog in your research. So what is the catalog? The FamilySearch Catalog is, in my opinion, one of the most important resources you can use when you're doing your own family history research or researching for somebody else. It provides you with information about different records, books, microfilm, microfiche, and other computer databases that are available within FamilySearch. So to search within the catalog, there are 8 different types of search options, and I will be going through all of those today. So as you can see, I am logged in and on the home page of FamilySearch. You can view the catalog without logging in, but you are able to access more records if you do have a free account with us. So if you go along to the top, so this is the home page, and if you look at the search option, you'll select search. And if you scroll down just a little bit, you will see the word catalog. So I'm just on the home page. I'll select search at the very top, and then I will go to catalog, and it will take me to this screen. So these are the different areas that the catalog allows you to search from. So the first one is place. Then there is surnames, titles, author, subjects, keywords, call number, and this group of film, fiche, and image group number. I will be giving examples and going through each of them individually, so don't feel like you have to remember all of those right now. Before I get started, I do want to highlight this availability section. So this is just going to search any record that is available or exists. What I do in my own personal research is I always leave it at any. This will allow the database, the catalog, to search for all records that are online, that are at the FamilySearch library, or that are stored in other storage facilities. You are able to select to only view records that are online or at a FamilySearch center, but my advice to you is to always leave it on any so that you can have the best results when searching. So to get started, we are going to do place. And so place searches by jurisdiction, and this is one of the most frequently used searches. So this search is used to find records on different jurisdictional levels. These levels will change and vary dependent upon the country you are searching in, but some of the most common ones are city, town, county, state, department, province, and country. Sort of just depending on what region you're looking for, it just breaks it down into the different jurisdiction levels that they have. You may need to check all of the jurisdictional levels of your area of research, but we will go through that as well. I will say before we get started that the places search is an exact search. So as you start to type in, a drop-down menu will appear and I will show you. So today, we will be searching within Messina, Italy. So this is the drop-down menu, and in order to search any area, you do have to click on any one of these drop-downs. So today we will be looking within Italy, Sicily, Messina. So this is the city, this is the province, this is the larger jurisdiction, and then this is the country. So as you can see, there are 2 different Messina, Italys. This is just the province of it, but we want to narrow it down even further and look within the city. So right now it is highlighted in green, and you'll just click on that and it will autofill the location for you, and then you will select search and it'll load everything for you. So this is what comes up when you see your different searches, and what you want to do is pay attention to all of the things surrounding it. So this is the notes information, and you can select on place information to learn a little bit more about the place. And what is really cool is that it helps you understand what this location is a part of. So it will show you the larger jurisdictional level. So it's telling you that this location is a part of the Messina province in Sicily in Italy. It will also break it down for you even a little bit further with places within. And I use places within very often. So say you have ancestors that are within the city of Messina, but Messina, even as a city, is still pretty large, and you know of a specific parish or town of your ancestors that lived there. And so you just want to break it down a little bit further. You can hover over places within and click on it, and it will open up a bunch of different areas. And so this is super helpful if you want to break it down even a little bit farther. So you can see all of these, and at that point you would just hover over it, click on it, and then it will take you to it. But I don't want to do that today, so I'm just going to pop out of it and scroll down. And so these are the different options that come up for the city of Messina in Italy. And so these are the different subjects that it contains. You can see that cemeteries are an option, censuses are an option, church records, and these are the different subject types that the city of Messina has available within the FamilySearch Catalog. If you look to the right, you'll see numbers that are after each of the subjects, and these numbers signify how many collections are within it. So I'm going to select this one, civil registration, to give you an example. So if you scroll down, it will drop it down. So it'll show you everything under civil registration. These are the different collections that FamilySearch has available that match the location and the subject of your search. So I will go down and I will select one just to show you. Let's see what's a good one that we can select. So this is the civil registration between the years 1820 and 1910. So if you want to view it, all you need to do is click on the collection and you will see a bunch of different information. Now it can be overwhelming to see all of this information, but don't worry, I will explain all of it for you. So this very top portion right here, I'll highlight it. This very top portion is just telling you the name of the collection that you're viewing. Next, it will show you the author or where this information comes from. This is important because you want to be able to see, like, yes, it is coming straight from the archive from the Messina province so that you know what jurisdiction you're looking at. And it will show you that it is also civil registration. It's coming directly from the government. It's telling you that the format is in a manuscript on film, and that it is in the Italian language. And so if you need help with Italian, you can always reach out and make an online consultation with one of our research specialists or use Google Translate. It shows who published it, and it was done by the Genealogical Society of Utah. And it shows what does it look like in its physical form, and it is on microfilm. And then this just gives you different references to know where did this information come from, and it will just give you different record collections. Another helpful thing to look at is the notes section. So it will show you that there are other records in civil registration that are online here. And so if you don't find, so this is within the state archive, the tribunal, and the commune, the comune. And so these are different jurisdictional levels. And so if you aren't finding what you're looking for within this collection, you can always search here as well. And so coming down just a little bit farther, you can see also that there are just some notes about this information. It says like birth, marriages, deaths, and different documents. These are the records from the hamlet of San Ferdinando, which is now known as Nizza di Sicilia. And so all of those are included. So I definitely recommend reading the notes area just so you can see what it says. It is, as you can see up here, oftentimes written in the language of the record collection, but Google Translate can definitely help you with that. Another thing to pay attention to is the subjects. It will show you the different localities. And so these are different options if you want to learn more about the localities. And then down here are the film digital notes. And this is where you want to end up. So within this collection that is titled Registri do Stato Civile, they have different subsections, so this specific collection is all of the birth records between 1820 and 1822. And this one right here is all of the birth records between 1835 and 1836. So it's super, super helpful of them that they've broken up the collection by year just to make your own personal research a little bit easier and faster. So it will tell you what exactly you're looking at and where it can be located. So this is a microfilm that is also available online, and the physical location is in the Family History Library, also known as the FamilySearch Library. It is on the International Basement Level 1 floor, and the film number is right here if you wanted to view the actual microfilm, and then the image group number, which is what you can use online, is right here. And this blue little highlight is super helpful if you're not super familiar with the FamilySearch Library, because if you click on it, it will give you directions to the FamilySearch Library, and it will tell you all of the different hours that they have. And it will tell you all of the different services and languages that they can help you with. So that is super helpful if you wanted to see the physical copy. But something that is super important to notice is that on the far right-hand side, right here is the format. And right here is a little camera. And we'll be going over different formats available on the catalog. And what this camera means is that you can view a digital image of it. Occasionally, and you'll see this a little bit later, there will be a key on top of the camera, and that means they are restricted images. And this is because FamilySearch creates different contracts with the organizations we're getting records from. In this case, we got it from the Messina Province Archive. And so they've just put additional restrictions, but these can usually be lifted by viewing at a FamilySearch center, either one in Salt Lake or one that is local to you. And so I'm just going to click on this to show you what it looks like. So you click on the camera and you can see the collection and you can scroll through, and I won't go super into detail about all of the tools that you can use because that will be done in a different webinar. So I'm going to select back. And if you scroll down, it looks like this collection has 3 different pages of different mini collections within the main one, which is up here at the top. Let's see. So within this collection, there are 3 pages of information. So if what you're looking for is, say, a marriage, and so matrimony means marriage, and it looks like it's on page 2. So I'll show you down at the bottom. It's on page 2. So you'll just use these 2 arrows to go back and forth. If you want to go to page 3, you'll select this arrow. And if you want to go back to page 1, you'll select this arrow. And it will allow you to view all of the smaller subsets within that big collection. So just pay attention and scroll down to make sure you know exactly how much is in each collection. So that is everything for the place search. So now I'm going to scroll back up and I'm going to select back to search results. And so I'm right here. We recognize this area. And I'm going to delete this because I don't want to do place. So you can delete this and that is sufficient. And you can also close it out with the X on the top right hand of the screen. I prefer to do it this way just because it provides, see, like it disappears. It's just a little bit easier for me to view. So now we will do surnames. Now, the surname search is super helpful in finding like published family histories and other compiled works that include a specific surname. This search usually works best if you have an uncommon surname. So surnames like Jones, Smith, or Williams maybe won't be as helpful because you'll have so many results, and the keyword search would be better for more common surnames. So within this search, it does not include surname variants. So when you are searching for surnames and family histories, you do need to try to do that yourself. So say you're looking up someone with the last name Smith. I know that this is a common one, but for the sake of example, it will only search up names with the word Smith. But say you know that your ancestors spelled it like this with a Y, you would need to do that because the surname search itself will not pick that up. But we don't want to use Smith as an example because that is super common. So I will do Whittington. So I select Whittington, and then I have to scroll down at the bottom and I will select Update. And so if you look, you can see at the very top you have the different number of results, and there are 73 of them, which is not too many. And the specific result that we want to be looking at today is the Addisons and allied families and all of those different surnames that it includes. And so these are the different sections within like the information that this book contains. And so we have the title up here. We have the authors, and so it looks like it was written by Stretton Nottingham, and it gives like the years that it was done. It looks like the format is a book in English, and it shows like where it is published. It'll give you the ISBN number, which is extremely helpful if you want to Google it or see where you can purchase it. And then it will also give you the subject class. And so right here are different notes about what the book contains, and I always recommend reading the note sections. And so it says, John Addison married Margaret White, daughter of Joseph White, in this year, and that the book contains relatives living mainly in Northampton and Accomack counties in Virginia. It does include an index, which is super helpful, and then it shows you what other families are within it. So you can see the different subjects, and so say you know that you are looking at the Whittington family, but you also want to know more about different families. If you look at the surname subjects, you can see broken down a little bit who else the book contains. And so that is super helpful to just always pay attention to the information that is given on the screen. And if you scroll down a little bit farther, you can see where this book is physically located. And so this is the call number. So this is the little number that will show you exactly where it's at. It is in the Family Search Library, and if you click on that, you can see the hours, and then it's on the 3rd floor. So if you go to the 3rd floor within the Family Search Library and go to the numbers that correspond with this call number, you will be able to find it. And it looks like it is currently available. So the physical copy is available. Now, let's say you don't live in Utah. I heard that so many of you are from all over the United States and even all over the world, and you want to view this book. If you look at this option, it says, view this catalog record in WorldCat for other possible copy locations. So this is super helpful if you do not live in Utah. So let's click on that. Okay, and so this is what you can see. So this is the exact same book that we were looking at, and it will show you a summary. And it looks like it's currently picking up my location as Salt Lake City, Utah, because that's what I have input. And it shows that the Family Search Library is 7.3 miles away. But it looks like there are 9 other libraries near Salt Lake City, Utah. So there's one edition in 12 different libraries. So there's one, I mean, they are varying distances away, but this can be helpful for the people that live all over. Like there's California, there's Oklahoma, Wisconsin, Allen County, and University of Virginia, and things like that. Now, what do you do if you also don't live in any of the nearest libraries near you? In some libraries, they participate in what is called an interlibrary loan. So say you live, so this is in San Francisco, California, but say you live in Los Angeles and you don't want to make that drive. You can do some research and see if this California State Library participates in an interlibrary loan with any of the local Los Angeles libraries. And what that means is that this library, California State Library, will allow the Los Angeles library to have that book. They'll send it to Los Angeles for you to check out and use it. And then when you return it, Los Angeles will send it to California. So do not lose hope if you can't make it to the Salt Lake Family Search Center and you can't make it to any of the nearby libraries that it has. Just do some research. I won't do it just because that would be very specific and time consuming, but do some research to see where you can find that. Unfortunately, FamilySearch does not participate in interlibrary loan, but a lot of other places do, and you can view that on WorldCat. And so now that is everything for surname searches. So I'm going to delete that. Going to exit out right here, and now we're going to move on to titles. So the titles option of the search option will allow you to search items entered into the title field. It will search all collections and it won't just do books. So that is super helpful. And you do not need to search by the exact title. The library or the catalog will just pick up different things that have the correct keywords. And so I'm going to look for the family name Ortsfamilienbuch, which is in German. Oops, let me move that over. So I'm going to search this family. I'm going to scroll down and select update, and I'm going to see what is pulled up. So as you can see, there are 339 results. And if I were to be doing this for my own family, I would not want to skim through all of those results. So I want to narrow it down just a little bit. So if you scroll down underneath the update, you can see different categories. You can see different years that it was done and different categories of like birth, marriage, and death. If you want histories, other subjects like ethnic, political, or religious groups, and things like that. So you can select any number of these, and it will greatly narrow it down. In this case, I do have specific years that I want to search up this family. And so I'm going to type those in now. And I'm going to select update at the bottom to update my search. And now I see that there is only one hit. So I'm going to open it. And it looks like it is a manuscript in German, and it is on microfilm. And so you can see right here where it's located. You can see that. You can also look to see if it's in WorldCat like we did previously to see if it's available in other locations. But if anything, the physical location is the Granite Mountain Record Vault. But going back to the format, we've already seen this one. It's a camera. So if we click on the camera or even hover over it, it says browse the images online. We can click on it and we can view it right here, just like that. So that is how you can use the titles search. So I'm going to go back to search results. And just a reminder, this is not only titles of books, but it can also be titles of locations. And you do not need to have the exact name of it. It'll just pull up everything that contains that word. So I'm going to get out of that and move on to author. So the author search will search the items entered into this specific field, and it may contain information about the book's author, the repository, or agency that created the collection. So it can show you any number of those things, which is super helpful just because the more broad of things that it looks up, the better likelihood that you'll be able to find something. And so the author we will be looking up is William Bruce Tanner. And I've already done it so far, so I'm just going to select update down at the bottom. Oh, sorry, Turner, not Tanner. Update. Okay, and so now we can see that there are 2 different search results that come up, 2 different subjects, but within that, there are 3 different books. And so when this happens, you can click on either one of them. You can click on them at the same time or one at a time. If you want to minimize it, you just click on it again. But this will show you all of the different works that were written by this author that are available within the catalog. So for today, we're going to be opening up the history of Maury County in Tennessee. And we'll just view all of the information. It looks like we know, this is the author, this is the format, the language, and where it's located. You can view a digital version if you click here. And so let's just continue. And like I said, always, always, always read the notes section. So this book includes an index, which will help streamline your research, but it looks like that pages 309 and 312 are missing from the original book. So that's super helpful to keep in mind, just in case you end up needing those pages, you'll know that they're not there and that you really can't find them just because they don't exist and not because you don't know how to research. And so here's another WorldCat option to see if it's located near you. And this is what it will give you. It'll give you the call number. It'll give you where it's located, what floor, and that it is available. And so today I want to explore the digital version. So I'm going to click here. And now you can see that tab and it will open it up and it will look like this. So if you want to view the actual book itself, you can either click on the first page that it shows you, or you can select view inside. So I'm going to select view inside. And so this is what you can see. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, and you can do all of those different things if you want to. This is us. I'm not going to go super in detail because that will be done in another webinar, but if you click on this magnifying glass right over here, this is like the find feature within the book. And so if you type in anything you want, so we'll do William Turner and we'll select OK. There are 242 results that says William Turner in this book. So when you are researching and you do have a book, you can make your research faster by looking at the specific words instead of reading the whole thing. And so if you hover to turn the page, you'll just hover over the right or left of the screen. So we'll go here. And you can keep going forward. Let's say you really wanted to go back to that image, then you would just hover over the left. And so I won't go too into detail on that, but you can play around with it at another time. So I'm going to go back to the catalog. And then I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to go back to search results. And I'm going to delete this. Looks like we are halfway done. And so now we're going to talk about different subjects that we can use. And so the subject search will search through the subjects field, and this search is based on the Library of Congress subjects like native races, nationalities, occupations, religious groups, and languages. There's also world history, geography, political science, law, fine arts, medicine, military, and naval science, and a lot more. I will say that this search may not always be successful, but it is definitely worth a shot. So it allows you to search all of those things if what you're looking for is categorized by a subject. So I'm going to look up Society of Friends, and I'm going to select Update. And you can see that of all of the Society of Friends, it pulls up every single one of them. And so this is kind of like they're all sort of similar. You can click on them. You can enlarge what it is about and read the notes like what we've been doing and just view the items. I do want to show you. So like I mentioned before, we're used to seeing the camera and that takes you to digital images. And this one has a key over it. And just as a reminder, that means that the person that we are getting these records from, so the Society of Friends in Surrey, England, in order within the contract that they are allowing FamilySearch to use their images, they put a certain restriction. And typically, how to remove that restriction is to go to your FamilySearch, the FamilySearch library, or a FamilySearch center. They just want you to use it at one of their controlled facilities. And so that is typically how you can remove that. So I'm going to go back to search results and we're going to keep moving forward. And so now we are going to do a keyword search. And so keywords is probably the most versatile and you can do the most with it. It is not limited to like a single field, but you can look through an entire page using different keywords. A keyword search can be helpful in locating authors, subjects, and other sources when not all of the words are known. It's also a really great way to combine other types of searches. And so it just kind of, it's like the most broad way you can search. Let's see, I will show you an example. So I want to do Peru, which is technically a location, and I want to do census, which can either be a subject or even a title of a record. So I'll select update. And so it combined the word Peru, which is a location, with the word census, which can be a title or a subject, and it pulls up everything that it has available. So there are 75 different results. And so you can look through all of these and find the one that best fits your needs. Another really awesome thing about the keyword search is that you can do it within a different language. Like you can type different languages into the keywords and find things that way, and it will pull it up. Like as you can see here, like this one is written, in Spanish, but I wrote Peru census in English. But because they correspond with each other, the catalog still brought up the census entry, and vice versa. Say I wrote this in Censos Municipales, like I can select that here, and then all of these ones that are in English, like the census records one, a lot of these are in Spanish, but if there's any in English, it will also include those. So keywords is a super great way to search. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to exit that out and exit right here. And so now we are going to move on and look at the different call numbers, film numbers, and the image group number. So I'm going to select call number. So the call number search is to search for books that can be found at selected FamilySearch centers and the FamilySearch library. You do not need the full call number to conduct a search, but the more that you know of the call number, the more likely you will locate the book that you're looking for. So for this example, we are going to be looking for the book called Back to Barry, and the call number is 977. So it's right there, and I'm going to go back to the bottom to update, and I have these options right here to look at, and I'm looking for Back to Barry, so I can click on that and I can see what I want to know about this book. And again, we can look in WorldCat just in case we're not close to the FamilySearch library or a FamilySearch center that it is available. So I'm going to go back and give an example of what happens if we only do the first part. So call numbers are set up in a way that they will put similar subjects or similar topics within each other. So the 977.876 talks about a glance back in time specifically for the Missouri area. And so by minimizing it down to a specific, we can find a specific book. But say we want to know a lot about Missouri back in the past, you can minimize the call number and you'll get a ton of different options about the history of Missouri and what it was like back then. And so that is another super helpful hint. It'll just give you a broader spectrum of the topic that you're researching. So now we're going to move on, and I'm going to show you how to look up a film number. And so we're going to do 3 different searches because I wanted to show you 3 different things. And so the film that we're going to look at is this one right here. And always select update at the bottom to update it. And it is right here. I'm going to click on it. So this is a film number, and it is currently located in the Granite Mountain Record Vault, and this is the film number. We currently do not remove records from the Granite Mountain Record Vault. And so the way that you can view this is if you go to the format. We've already talked about this a little bit, but just as a reminder, the camera icon will allow you to view digital images online. If you hover over it, it'll even say browse the images online. Now this is a new icon that we're seeing, the magnifying glass. And if you hover over it, it says search the index. And we love the magnifying glass. It helps speed up our research so much faster. So if you click on it, it will allow you to search the index of the record collection rather than going page by page. And so I won't do that for the sake of time, but we love seeing the magnifying glass. And so always pay attention to, like, is it only viewable images that you have to search page by page, or is it searchable in an index that FamilySearch has created, or if it's restricted. So now I'm going to go back to search results, and I'm going to show you a microfiche. So that number is right here. Select update down at the bottom, and I'm going to click on it. And remember, we have all of the information we have up here about the authors, the language, and the format, and the super important note section that includes a little bit more information about the record itself. We have the subject, so the different surnames. So definitely take a look at that just in case your surname of search you are looking for. And then down here, it will show you the call number. So for this book, it's currently held within the FamilySearch library, but it looks like it is in an offsite storage, so you would have to request that it is moved. However, if you scroll a little bit farther and look at the film digital notes, you do know that it is a microfiche at the at the FamilySearch library in Salt Lake City. Like right here's the location. It is with the United States and Canada fiche. Here's the film number, and here's another format that we're going to be seeing for the first time. And this just shows you that it is only available on microfilm within the library itself. So we've seen a camera, which is digital images, a magnifying glass, which is indexed images, so you can type in a search bar, and then we have this little film roll, which is the microfiche. And then we've seen the camera with the key on top, which is restricted images. And so now we've kind of looked at how to search for a microfiche. And now I'm going to do an image group number, also known as the DGS. Select update. And so the image group number, or the DGS, means that it is an online digital film. And if you look at all of these, we can see what the different sections contain. And the number that I typed in is right here. And so it's baptisms between 1533 and 1869. It is a physical film, is held at the FamilySearch library. It is on the B1 floor, and this is the film number. It looks like that this specific record subset is an index, and you can view it you can browse the images online. But if you look at all the other ones, we can see a camera with a key on it, meaning that it is you are not able to view the images. But let's see what happens if we want to select the magnifying glass of an option that does have a key. So we'll click on that. So it looks like we are able to search within the index of that record collection with the key on it. So I'll go back. So I selected the magnifying glass next to this image. And so we can search the indexed records for it, but unless we are in a specific location or meet the additional restrictions, we are not able to view a physical image of the record itself. We will just view the indexed information for it, which can still be helpful, but just to keep in mind, that is what that means.